Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition. We're just hours away from a national address from the Prime Minister. More from BPL on disconnections. Tackling menopause, what you need to know. And in sports, action continuing in day 2 of the Heroes Flag Football Tournament. The Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, starts now. Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. I'm Jiminita Swain. Thanks so much for joining us. Amidst impending BPL price hikes, Moody's recent grading of the Bahamas, homicides surpassing the 100 mark, and inflation increases, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis will give his first national address on Monday, October 10th, at which time he will preview the way forward 1 year into his administration. Here's OPM Press Secretary Clint Watson.
He's expected to address matters such as the cost of living, the government legislative agenda, and industrial matters. He talked about what has been achieved, where we're going, where we're headed, and some of the matters we're working on presently.
The Prime Minister's address will air live on the ZNS TV and radio network's Facebook and webpage at 8 p.m. And while BPL plans a fuel surcharge increase and the war in Europe impacting global oil prices, both have emphasized the need for greater access to alternative and renewable sources of energy. Chief Executive Officer of Fidelity Bank Bahamas, Galwin Bowe, feels less reliance on fossil fuels is the wave of the future, and local consumers and businesses should take heed.
Businesses and the average consumer need to factor in the cost of installing, I'm going to say, alternate energy supply powers to enable us to remove ourselves from the dependency on fossil fuels and the volatility that will take place in prices. That is easier said than done, and that is not an overnight fix in the sense that a business trying to put solar panels on its roof, trying to determine batteries, etc., is an investment. And it is certainly recognized that in the last 2 years, certainly with COVID, it was not the best time to do so. But the energy price volatility is going to be with us for quite a while. The OPEC producing countries have already announced a cut in production in order to maintain prices at where they stand. And so from that perspective, I think we're going to have to go in this for the long haul and start looking at how we remove our dependence on fossil fuels.
Well, since taking office last year, the Davis administration has made an aggressive push at advancing energy reform with the construction of solar energy panels on several family islands, a 60-megawatt solar grid in New Providence also in the pipeline. These initiatives expected to amount in millions of dollars in savings for the power giant and local consumers. While Bowe is applauding these proposals, he feels the country must now examine its energy consumption.
Certainly when the electricity cost has not been at its highest levels, persons take for granted whether that is the constant running of air conditions, whether that is the constant running of lights, the use of the old light bulbs that consume and pull significant amounts of energy. And there are a number of areas where you can conserve energy when you think about the new LED bulbs, when you think about the energy efficient equipment that you're now purchasing. And you may not see it in terms of a radical shift on the first month's bill, but over a period of time, you do see that decline. And most of these new efficiency tools are actually designed to enable you to maximize the efficiencies that you gain from energy conservation.
Bahamas Power and Light CEO Siobhan Cambridge providing an idea of the number of people currently disconnected. The question posed to him during the recent press conference at the office of the Prime Minister, he responded this way.
We had about 1,400 consumers who were disconnected at that time, but consumers could be disconnected for any number of reasons. And that was the rolling answer that came out of the computer. That may have included 100 who were just disconnected for immediate delinquency and reattached that same day. But it's around 40.
He was also asked about the reliability of the service in light of recent power outages.
Those were primarily due to inclement weather. We're a flat island. we're prone to lightning strikes. And as luck would have it, when lightning is trying to find its easiest path to ground, the thing that's sticking up out there is our 100-foot pole. And so it's the thing that attracts the lightning. Now, we have protective mechanisms in place that protect against that, such as lightning rods and grounds, lightning arresters and what have you. And we have grounds on our infrastructure that is supposed to reroute the lightning to the ground. We continue to have the nuisance of people stealing the grounds off of our poles, which increases the risk of lightning strikes and the severity of those strikes.
Well, crossing over now to crime news, a suspect shot and a police officer in serious condition after being struck by the driver of a Honda Fit who failed to stop when prompted by police officers. The incident unfolding at 4th Street in Coconut Grove after 10 Friday night, where police responded to a domestic complaint in the area of Augusta Street and Hospital Lane. On arrival to the scene, police were informed that the suspect left the area in a silver Honda Fit. Moments later, police spotted the vehicle on Ponciana Drive near Finlayson Street and signaled the driver to stop. It's reported that the driver failed to stop and instead sped off at a high rate of speed, which resulted in a police pursuit that ended at Prince Charles Drive, where the driver was shot by police officers. The driver of the vehicle was taken to hospital, where he's detained in serious but stable condition. During the chase, a 42-year-old male who was driving on Palm Tree Avenue received a gunshot injury to the arm. He drove himself to hospital and was subsequently treated and discharged. We understand that the officer has also since been discharged from hospital. Police investigations continue.
Hi, this is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dane with a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas. We continue to track Julia, which is racing across Nicaragua at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Julia has weakened now, packing winds of some 60 miles per hour, moving towards the west at 16 miles per hour. And we expect Julia to emerge into the Pacific Ocean. And should that happen, this would be the 21st time in record keeping that we would have had an Atlantic to Pacific crossing of a tropical cyclone. And additionally, should it make it, it will be the first time that we would have had two tropical systems crossing from the Atlantic into the Pacific in the same year. The first one took place in July by the name of Bonnie. This has been a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas.
Coming up in the weekend edition, understanding the natural phenomena of menopause. The details of that and other stories coming up after the break.
Did you know that registering your farm with the Department of Agriculture is currently free of charge? It comes with a wide range of benefits, such as assistance with feeder farm roads, land clearing and tractor services, assistance with Department of Immigration for obtaining foreign farm labor at a reduced permit fee, access to fish and farm stores for agricultural input supplies, sale of produce at packing house, produce exchange, abattoir services at a reduced price, training at the Food Technology Laboratories, disaster relief assistance, and free veterinary extension services. For more information on any of these incentives, please call the Ministry of Agriculture, Marine Resources, and Family Island Affairs at 397-7400. That's 397-7400. For additional updates, you can follow the ministry on social media at MOAMRFIA Bahamas.
When you combine decadence, luxury, passion, and attention to detail, you've described Café Channy Noël and Patisserie. Signature authentic French macarons, croissants, pastries for breakfast and lunch will take you on a European Epicurean journey. Enjoy your favorite handcrafted cocktails, coffees, cappuccinos, espressos, and lattes. Life is sweet at Café Channy Noël.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Thanks for staying with us. The Ministry of Education needs your input to make changes to the present high school diploma program. The Bahamas High School Diploma National Review Commission wants to hear your concerns, questions, or comments during a series of public town hall meetings. The meetings are scheduled for October 12th through the 14th at 6:30 p.m. each evening at Anatole Rogers High School, C.I. Gibson High School, and Queens College Jeffrey Brown Auditorium, respectively. If you're unable to attend, you can email your questions, concerns, or comments to bhsdmoe.edu.bs. The taped meetings will be broadcast on the ZNS television network at a date to be announced. In other news, tomorrow, October 10th, is World Mental Health Day, and in light of this, the Pan American Health Organization is launching its hashtag Do Your Share to support mental health campaign. The campaign seeks to curb the stigma and discrimination experienced by people with mental health problems and promote positive interactions that improve their search for help. Various studies show that stereotypes, prejudices, and discriminatory behaviors towards people with mental health problems are common. Through messages on social media, hashtag Do Your Share to support mental health invites people to break the silence, share their story, and have an open and honest conversation about how they are really. Mental health conditions are common around the world and have been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, which had a general impact across the population. A study published in The Lancet estimates a 35% increase in depressive disorders and a 32% rise in anxiety disorders in Latin America and the Caribbean in 2020 due to the pandemic. Well, a new research study is recommending the banning of all commercial and recreational parrot fishing and establishing complete no-take policies within all marine protected areas. The view to prevent further declines in the species largely responsible for preventing algae from overtaking coral reefs in the Bahamas. The new study published in the journal Diversity is authored by Dr. Krista Sherman, Maya Gomez, Thomas Kamenez, and Dr. Craig Dahlgren of the Perry Institute for Marine Science. Dubbed nature's lawnmowers, parrotfish are important for maintaining resilient coral reefs that protect coastlines, provide food, and support livelihoods. However, in the Bahamas, parrotfish are increasingly being targeted, and to date, no fishery regulations have been implemented. Using fish data collected over 9 years of reef surveys, marine scientists examined the status of parrotfish across different reefs around New Providence and Rose Island. Their goal was to determine whether parrotfish populations have changed over time and if the changes are related to increased fishing pressure. PIM scientists found a 59% decrease in the average density of parrotfish overall, with significant declines occurring in 3 parrotfish species: striped, red band, and green blotch. Researchers fear that significant declines in parrotfish populations, on top of threats such as coral bleaching, oil spills, hurricanes, and stony coral tissue loss disease, may further stress local coral reefs. Well, October is recognized as Menopause Awareness Month, intended to increase awareness about women and the potential health issues associated with entering menopause, menopause itself, and postmenopause. Menopause health practitioner Patrice Lockhart explains menopause is a natural transition for women when they move from being able to conceive a child to no longer being able to do so. She says there are approximately 35 symptoms associated with it, from hot flashes, muscle and joint issues, memory issues, anxiety, and even depression.
Here in our country, 99% of our women, they go into menopause unaware, unprepared, and untooled to deal with the changes that they would experience and with the symptoms. And the symptoms are not just physical. Some are emotional and some are psychological. And each year we have about over 3,000 women that enter into menopause when we look at the graduation rate every year, and we look at those numbers. And unfortunately, menopause care and menopause education has been neglected in our country.
Card says she herself had menopausal symptoms for 8 years and it was a rough experience. In some instances, women think they're going crazy. She says it's her mission to educate them about what they could face.
There are a couple of things we are doing on the 18th of October, which is still Menopause Awareness Month or Day. That evening, I am conducting a workshop what every woman should know about menopause. It's going to be at the Diploma Center from 7 to 9 p.m. There is a registration fee, and women can call 439-3242 for more information. We're inviting groups of women. Again, the goal is let's break this taboo. Too many of us are going into menopause and don't know what's going on.
What started out as a small movement of parishioners in a wooden structure on Taylor Street has now emerged into a modern facility on Blue Hill Road and a powerful beam of light in the Bain and Grantstown community. Bahamians from all walks of life celebrating the 76th anniversary of Mount Calvary Baptist Church today. The church's pastor, Reverend Dr. Philip McPhee, spoke of the organization's impact in the country.
It's been a journey of thanksgiving. As you're well aware, this church has been situated here for 76 years. My father, who served as the first pastor and a builder of this church, and we are just delighted that this church stands in the position of helping those who are in need, has buried those who pass away, and indeed has been a tremendous place of worship in the Bahamas.
As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all of our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us, sports after the break.
Transitioning from the city to islands life may be a challenge for some, but for this preschool teacher, moving from a New Providence classroom to Fresh Creek Primary in Andros was not so bad.
Coming onto the island and getting accustomed to the culture, you know, everyone is so tight-knit, and just getting accustomed to everyone and learning how things work around here. But I believe that the transition was easy. I had an amazing team. I have an amazing principal, senior teachers who answered any questions I had, no matter how ridiculous. So I'm blessed to have been put at this school with such an awesome team. And my kids so far, they are great. Although I don't have all of the resources I would love to have.
However, Ms. Williams says there's one little challenge.
The lack of resources. That's about it. When I was in Nassau in teaching practice, the class sizes are still the same. It's a really large group, but the only difference is accessibility. If I need certain materials to do different activities, it's hard to find them.
Meantime, she's not too worried about this, especially after a recent visit by Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin.
It's kind of like a hope, because my kids, they need a lot when it comes to books or writing utensils, crayons, things like that. We need a lot. So I believe the minister, she is sticking with her word, and I believe that they already started renovations with the school. That's a good start. So I know that soon we should be seeing some resources, some things that the kids can really benefit from. So I'm looking forward to that.
Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Good to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The team at the Bahamas Agriculture Marine Science Institute, better known as BAMSI, has been working hard this year, working to prove that it's best at BAMSI. President Dr. Arecia Hepburn said while it hasn't been easy, she is proud of the team and their accomplishments thus far.
Having our faculty and staff be open to more professional development was one of the things that we really ensured and pushed. We are now also not only creating those type of linkages, we starting to see more students become interested. We're doing a bigger bout of recruitment.
According to Hepburn, the goal is to extend BAMSI's reach around the world.
I was working on an MOU with FAMU. We're firming that up. We also starting the process with one with Duke University, University of Delaware. There's several organizations that we're now partnering with, Prairie View A&M, that'll come down. So we really want to ensure that we firm up international linkages, and not only in the Western Hemisphere. We've already started meetings with persons from Ghana because we want our students to have exposure globally.
As students return to the classroom following nearly 2 years on the virtual platform, the team over at BAMSI is looking to improve the educational experience.
We're looking at starting more short courses so persons get a snapshot and learn some of the skills that they may want to know about. They might want to know more about climate change and not really be prepared to take a 2-year degree. And then hopefully maybe in year 2 or 3 we could start looking at maybe becoming a 4-year organization. I mean, we're taking baby steps towards that goal, but that'll be ideal because we want everybody to know it's best at BAMSI.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Giorgio Bain.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Sunday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles. Things heating up on the field outside the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium for Day 2 of the Bahamas Flag Football League's inaugural Heroes Tournament. After teams got a good warm-up on Day 1, the intensity picking up in Sunday's games. And the opener on the ladies' side would be a pair of old rivals out of Freeport squaring off for the 4th time this season. Is the Grand Bahama ladies champs. The JV Elites would take on Team Zero Tolerance, and that is exactly what their defense would show, only allowing 1 score on the day, while their offense would tack on 3 touchdowns for a 21-6 win.
With the team, we knew that we just had to stick together and stick to the game plan, and everybody believe in each other, and we stick together, and everything came in place and fall in line.
Tell me a bit about the offense. You guys managed to put up 20 points today, kind of looking smooth like a well-oiled machine out there. Just tell me a bit about what's going right on the offensive side of the ball.
Yes, it's coming together. What it is that we learned the defense, and we read the defense a little bit better, and we made our adjustments towards the defense, and everything just opened up for us.
Just some miscues we had, the team we played, they pretty much know us. We played them 3 times this year in Freeport, also for the championship. We won the championship in Freeport, so they made their adjustments, added players that gonna help them. Hats off to them, they played a hell of a game. Hats off to them. It was a bit of a challenge, sometimes when it's like this because of work and other things, you can't bring all your players. So with us, we had 1 or 2 players missed that was supposed to play key positions. But there's no excuse. We had to play what we have, and yesterday was a good day. It's a good experience for the team itself. A lot of them, it's their first time coming over into Nassau and playing it with international teams along with Nassau teams. So the experience itself is a teacher, for them to understand and move forward.
Still in ladies action, a defensive battle in the second game as the Lady Avengers will take on the Phoenix Fire. It would be the Lady Superheroes coming out victorious, putting on their capes as their lockdown defense would pitch a shutout en route to a 6-zip win.
Well, I'm very proud of my defense team. Shout out to y'all. We read the field, we read the players, and we just went out and we executed, That's what you have to do. And we're also pretty good, so... A
bit about the team chemistry and camaraderie. Obviously, 2-day tournament. Just tell me how it's been going.
I mean, we're tired because obviously we're doing a lot of playing back-to-back, but I think, again, we're all committed, and we have the chemistry. We played with each other before, so it's really just a done deal. We just came out here to do our best, and we're trying to take home the trophy.
On the men's side, there was another Grand Bahama showdown as the Rock Boys would take on the men's Zero Tolerance team. This would be a low-scoring affair as well, but the Rock Boys, they would get the edge 7-6.
We was playing a little bad at the beginning, but our quarterback stepped up and bring us through with the win.
Just tell me a bit about the defense. You're obviously a defensive player. Just tell me about the defensive side of the ball.
To me, the defense is on lock today, man. we had them. They scored once today, so the defense was on lock. The line was on lock.
And teams from the 242 not the only ones participating. The Game and Island squad making some noise as well.
The competition's been great. Actually, we started coming here, I believe, in 2012. Jason Clark came up to Cayman with the team, and we started coming down. And the first couple years we came, you know, we were one of the more dominant teams. We would always go to the final, and now it's the complete opposite, man. We're scrapping and fighting just to stay in the tournament. So it's great to see the transition here. I mean, obviously, Bahamas has got a great talent pool here, and, you know, with the U.S. being there, you know, football being a big market too. So it's awesome to see. You know, I'm 40, still playing and enjoying it. It's been a great tournament. Bianca's done an awesome job of communication and everything like that. So super excited to keep coming back and enjoying this atmosphere.
That's been Look at Sports on this Sunday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
At the Nature Conservancy, we believe in working with fishermen and communities in order to improve the sustainability of queen conch in the Bahamas.
The crux of the issue here is that there are not enough mature conch staying in the water to reproduce and produce enough offspring to sustain the fishery into the future. So the project is to visit a number of fishermen in different parts of the Bahamas and showed them how to do the research on the queen conch and determine what may be the best proxy indicator of maturity by measuring multiple different parameters.
These engagements give fishermen and communities an opportunity to see how scientific research is conducted and be a part of that process. By the end, fishermen are asking for more information on how they can further be involved in research.
Knowledge is power. You know, a lot of people want power, but they don't want to get the knowledge. I think what you're all doing is real helpful for us to give us knowledge. I learned something from this meeting today.
We hope that by conducting these engagements, the Bahamas can be an example of how communities, researchers, and government can come together to work towards sustainable fisheries, not only here in the Bahamas, but around the world.
Nobody can talk about your business or a special event like you can. Do you want a way to bring your message to a large audience? You need a live ZNS radio interview. 5 minutes of airtime to let listeners know directly from you all about your company, product, or upcoming event. And now, for a limited time only, get 5 interviews for 25% off or 10 interviews for 35% off. Call the ZNS sales office today, 502-3800, and get on the radio.
It's time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Jimenita. We're under partly cloudy skies. Temperature at 88 degrees. The relative humidity, well, that stands at 91%, quite rich. Winds are out of the east-southeast at 10 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,016.3 millibars. That is 30.01 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Violence this evening, 79 degrees in Marshall Harbor, Abaco, Green Toll Key at 82 degrees, 82 also in Freeport, Grand Bahama. The Berry Islands, 84, Allenstown, Bimini, 82, picking up 86 degrees in Harper Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera at 89 degrees, 87 in Black Point, Exuma, and Camps Bay, South Andros. Fresh Creek in Central Andros at 86 degrees, 88 in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Huron Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 85. Ragged Island, 85 as well. That extends into Clarencetown, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands, Matthew-Town, Inagua, 87, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight through Monday, easterly flow at 15 to 20 knots. The wave heights 4 to 7 feet, so that means caution flags are up. High tide takes place at 8:19 this evening. Another high tide at 8:44 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands all through to Monday, easterly flow 15 to 25 knots. Very rough seas, 5 to 8 feet. So we have advisories in place for your boaters in the central and southeastern islands through tomorrow. Satellite picture showing that old frontal boundary that was once in the southeast Bahamas. It backed up all the way now over the Grand Bahama and the Abaco areas. That will fire pockets of showers and thunderstorms, some of which will be heavy at times, and we could still get 1 or 2 residual showers here in the capital tonight. Our forecast calls for partly cloudy and warm conditions, 79 degrees for the low temperature, and tomorrow, Periods of clouds and sunshine, again with a thunderstorm in parts of the area. 87 degrees for a high temperature tomorrow, and the extended weather forecast, we're going to have those pockets of showers, isolated thunderstorms, right through the next several days. Look as though it's going to take us into about Thursday or so. Cloudy conditions on Friday, isolated showers returning on Saturday, but look what happens on Sunday. Lots of sunshine returning to our forecast, so it seems as though the early part of next week might be our best shot. Temperature-wise, once again, we're keeping you into the mid-80s and upper 70s during the nighttime. Jimenita.
Thanks, Basil, and that will end the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network.